Alright, what's up everyone? I'm here with my friend, Zek, and we're basically going to be debunking what this guy said on Reddit about trying to debunk the claims that people make for when debating Kratos, okay?
And
Introduce who you are, Zek, and, you know, what you're doing and shit.
Today I'm here with the Kratos expert. And we're gonna be debunking this. And let me get something straight. A lot of people do not know a lot of things about Kratos, of how strong he is. There's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of headcanon out there that we do not
accept. And we'll debunk your ass.
We are official canon.
And also, before we actually get into this debate, I want to go over what is specified as canon and what should be used within this when debating Kratos in general, or any game character in general. The things that are considered canon are QuickTime events, cutscenes, the word from the directors, and that's about it, you know, and statements in game as well.
And also novels that are made around the game.
And novels as well, that's another thing. Because novels are confirmed secondary canon by the directors. And if they support what is claimed within the game, then, you know, yeah.
It's secondary canon? What's it called?
Yeah, that will be canon.
Yeah, it will be canon. It doesn't mean, it's just secondary canon, so we don't really care what it says. That's not what it means.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's start going over, so these points here are basically the supposed arguments that people who debate Kratos bring up, and we'll just go over them. The argument that he first brought up and is trying to debunk is the Castor and Pollux stuff in Ascension with the Warriors of Zeus. I'll open up all the evidence that is supplied in this claim that us supposed Kratos debaters bring up, and then this is him debunking it right here. First we'll go over itself. Ascension Kratos beat Castor and Pollux, who were faster than the Warriors of Zeus from Ascension multiplayer, who were light speed, making Kratos FTL. Word of God also confirms his feat. Okay, we'll go over that. Here's basically the wiki page for Castor and Pollux, basically describing them, and, you know, all along here and shit. Here's the Redeemed Warrior, who uses these feats, like the Hyperion Essence. Here's the description of the Hyperion Essence. Right here. That's from the Ascension multiplayer. And here's the confirmation from the Word of God, which is what we call which is basically the director. His retort is, the Warriors of Zeus are not light speed, it is their Hyperion Essence. That is an item carried by them and not anything physical they have to open a portal to move at those speeds and what appears to be teleportation. First of all, it's not appearing to be teleportation. It's enhancing their speed to go at light speeds. And it doesn't even matter if it's an item or not, you know. Castor and Pollux is still faster than that. So yeah. And he goes, the reminiscent ability, or just a rush attack, which would not scale to their own or anyone's reactionary speed. Okay, again, it's increasing their speed for a short time to actually reach the speed of light and travel at that speed and react with that speed. And then he goes on to say, worse, still Kratos has never fought or even encountered the Warriors and never blitzed them. He did fight Zeus, who also does what they do naturally if he's moving. It was actually confirmed that Zeus's same movement is considered godly to what they use, and that's his normal casual speed as well, making Zeus even extremely superior to them. And Kratos has encountered people who are actually superior to these warriors, like Castor and Pollux, and has reacted and killed them as well. So,
may I add one thing?
Would you like to add anything?
Yes.
Zach?
The never fought the Warriors thing, that means nothing. When he has fought people way faster than him, when he has been stated
and stronger.
to be way stronger and faster, has been stated to be more powerful than them, then but he's never fought him, so we don't know for sure. Yeah, right. You don't do that.
Yeah. That's basically debunked his shit right there. The next argument he made is in God of War Ascension, Kratos outran time manipulation with speed, making him faster than time. First of all, nobody actually uses that argument, and if they do, they're fucking dumb. Because for starters, he doesn't outrun time manipulation. Like in this same, like in the evidence that he supplied in the argument, he is using the Ouroboros amulet to enhance his speed to go faster than the light of speed, and it's not teleportation either. I'll even slow it down for you. When he moves, you see a weapon trail behind him. If it was teleportation, he would not be having that weapon trail. Like, even look right here. See? You'll see it's weapon trail right there. He's moving at extreme speeds and keeping those speeds because, you know, why would he increase his speed just to move, then change it back to normal? That would be fucking dumb. So, he's enhancing his speed with the Ouroboros amulet that entire fight. And Kratos is reacting to him. Like, even here, when he goes behind him, Kratos is looking that direction and just turns around and reacts to him. So Kratos doing that casually and having no difficulties even killing these two twins is an extraordinary speed feat. So yeah. In his quote-unquote debunk, he goes, he didn't. The amulet of Ouroboros only works on objects, not anything living. That's bullshit because he actually uses it on himself 2 times to enhance his speed in that same fight, and he also uses it on himself to make himself young again before the fight even starts because he was an old man, you know? He goes, despite this, there might be a case for him being able to move through time manipulation as he went through the Temple of the Fates in God of War 2. Okay, and then he goes, also highly questionable. Yeah, sure, you go over.
Okay. I'll read through it. As he went through the Temple of Fate in God of War 2, but that is also highly questionable, as the room he was in could have been under a constant time stop, or the objects of the room could have just been frozen in time. He wasn't since he had not been frozen in time beforehand. Nothing can be assumed as a result. Okay, first thing first. I'm pretty sure during that section that the constant time stop goes back to regular time and then stops again.
Well, you know, it wasn't even complete time.
It was like slowed down time. Yeah, I know.
You know, it only restricts Kratos' movements by a specific percent because, you know, his movements are slowed down, so it's not complete time stop.
Yes, and also what's it called? Even we have seen also that even though he wasn't there before time was slowed down or whatever or stopped, we know that in that time stop the other creatures, other enemies are slowed down. So
exactly,
does he has a resistance to time stop then?
Yeah, he's just powering through with his raw speed. So
point is null and void. It's annoying.
Yeah. The next argument that us supposed people, you know, make is Kratos caught Hermes who dodged light at close range. That's Helios' light. Hercules also blocks this light. That's sort of irrelevant to what we're debating right now. This light also illuminated the infinite underworld and finite time. Word of confirmation for you. Okay, first of all, we'll go over this infinite underworld and so on, you know, finite time. Word of God confirmation. So here we see him catching Hermes, and as I said, quick time events, which that clearly is canon. The guy even in this Reddit post, the guy even also says himself that it's canon. Like, so yeah. Here's him dodging the speed of Hermes right there. Here's confirmation from the arts director stating that he wanted to depict the underworld as being infinite and never ending, and his word actually does take claim over this because he basically made the art for the underworld and helped design the underworld. So yes, that is his word is canon for that, and he's proving that Gaia stating that Helios' light illuminated the infinite underworld. And here's the confirmation from the Word of God, or what we call the director. Would you like to go over the retort he gave, and then we can debunk it?
The whole thing, or the whole thing, or just the underworld is hyperbole thing.
Well, I'll go over the first part, then then you can
you read
take
the whole
over
thing.
the hyperbole shit. Okay, so first of all, he states that gameplay isn't canon. That's true because Kratos is hurt by arrows. So yes, gameplay is not canon. Yes, that's true. God of War isn't just gameplay, it has everything from quick time events to cutscenes, so game mechanics cannot be used for feats. The only games which would state that are games like Minecraft, and regardless massive amounts of joke. Okay, so he's bringing up a straw man fallacy here by bringing in another game to prove his point on a different subject,
Yeah, and
basically changing the subject.
hold on. He could have also said that like you said earlier, he gets hurt by arrows and stuff like that. So he could have just brought up a point like that, but he decides to bring in another game.
But he didn't.
And be like, oh,
fucking Minecraft as well.
Yeah. And this is something that happens a lot during this thread, that he tries to bring in other things to prove his point without having this one thing, and then using other things.
And that is a straw man fallacy, by the way. That's what a straw man fallacy is. Bringing in another argument to try and prove that the current argument that we were debating is wrong. That's a straw man fallacy. And that's what he's doing here, and he does it like three other times during this entire topic, which is just fucking retarded. So he goes over here how in those cases, which is the same as what is happening there, Hermes dodging the head of Helios isn't an attack animation. Okay, so again, doesn't really matter what he's saying here. He's bringing in straw man fallacies and going over animations within the game when he says the gameplay isn't canon. So next he goes over how the underworld is obviously not infinite. Oh, you can go over this one.
Yeah, boy.
This is autism.
Okay, I'll read. The underworld is obviously not infinite. It's hyperbole. The Triforce is truly not infinite. Master Chief is not the fastest thing in the
real quick, this is another thing of what I said, how he's bringing in constant
You interrupted me while I was in my high pompous voice, dude.
Fuck off. But yeah, continue on.
Okay, let me finish the whole thing. I have to restart now. The underworld?
Okay.
The underworld is obviously not infinite. It's a hyperbole. The Triforce is truly not infinite. Master Chief is not the fastest thing in a setting that contains lasers. Kirby is not omnipotent. I know somebody who would disagree with that, but
Yeah, I've heard debunkings that Kirby is actually
more importantly, that description of the underworld is not canon. I know because I wrote the story myself. as it was written by another concept artist. Oh my god. God forbid it was written by a concept artist. Someone who,
again, that same concept artist helped design the layout for the underworld, so he does actually have say over the description of the underworld.
It's somebody who works with the director on purveying certain things.
I mean, if some random guy just came in and said that it was infinite, then it would be faulty. But not only did this concept artist say that it was infinite, no other directors that have a higher position than him debunked or refuted that argument, and they could have easily done that as well.
If a producer said that, the underworld is not infinite. He's a producer. He's not with the games.
Yeah. Like, for example, Sean Schimmel, who is the voice actor for Goku, stated that Goku was omnipotent during the fight with Beerus. Yet, other people came in and debunked that shit almost instantaneously.
Oh god, I remember that.
Yeah, so that would be an example. Except it's a faulty example because the concept artist actually helped design the underworld. Anyway, continue on.
Who has no say on what is what regarding God of War, the God of War universe. In the canon, the underworld has only been described as immeasurable.
Okay, so actually, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I want to go.
Can I explain what immeasurable is?
Yes, okay. Go ahead, explain what immeasurable.
I'm gonna put this in layman's terms. Okay.
Yep.
Infinite is a term used to measure something. You can measure something by infinity. With immeasurable, that means that you can't measure it. If you can,
I mean, the title is self-explanatory.
Yes,
it's immeasurable.
If you can't measure something, then oh no, it's smaller than infinite. Yeah, okay.
No, because, again, like you said, like my friend Zach said, infinity is measurable to be endless and never-ending, yet immeasurable is something that cannot be measured by math, physics, or anything. It's literally immeasurable. So him stating that the underworld is immeasurable would put the light of Helios at immeasurable speeds, which is superior to infinite speeds, making Kratos and Hermes and even the light of Helios
shit, we can use that as an argument. Oh my god, I'm saving that. Kratos has immeasurable speed. Hell yes.
XD. Yeah, but yeah, continue on with this retarded debunking of this guy, not us, because we're actually debunking this horrible retort that he's getting.
In the canon, the underworld has only been described as immeasurable in size, which doesn't mean infinite, just very big too, often to the point where it can't be measured. Oh my god, really?
He's literally debunking himself.
Often to the point where it can't be measured. Jesus Christ, I did not see that earlier.
I mean, yeah, but he's still debunking himself. He doesn't know the difference between immeasurable speeds.
I know, this is just bad. What is
actually, again, I'll actually give an example of infinite speed. It would be instant transmission. It's basically being able to move instantaneously anywhere with average speed, because techniques aren't really counted. So it's basically instant transmission, yet that's casually, and not having to use a technique to use those speeds. So, yeah.
And what is painfully more obvious is that Kratos is not omnipresent. He has to travel around these days with the use of a rowing boat, for goodness sake.
Real quick, I'm going to intervene here again. He goes, what is painfully more if Kratos is not omnipresent? Nobody ever claimed Kratos was omnipresent, even in the argument that he tried to debunk. It did not claim that he was omnipresent. And in this part, he's trying to use the argument of Kratos using a boat, yet earlier in the same post he said gameplay isn't canon. So trying to use gameplay of Kratos roaming around in a boat after saying that gameplay isn't canon is sort of retarded. So not only is he contradicting himself, but it's provided like 3 straw man fallacies already. So this guy is obviously a fucking liar.
And like, what happens if somebody who doesn't know about God of War and comes to this thread? They'll be filled with They'll be filled with filled with lies and start spreading other lies, and there'll be a lot of misconceptions. Say if you were to debate somebody that took this thread seriously, and you knew a lot about God of War.
They'll start using these arguments.
That'll be a waste of time.
You'd need to explain it to them.
It would be a waste of time. It'll get very frustrating. Like not too long ago, what's it called? My friend here debated someone versus Kratos. It got very bad. Neo. Jesus Christ. It got very bad.
But yeah, we won't get into that.
No.
But yeah. He continues on by saying, on top of being still affected by the constant flow of time which he exists under, omnipresent characters do not have those burdens placed upon them. And the word of God here is also invalid for the same reason as the last one was, but that needs its own section of the rant. So we basically debunked that right there. He provided 2 straw man fallacies and basically lied to our faces by saying that gameplay isn't canon, then trying to use gameplay as a valid argument. Next, he continues on with saying, the argument that he's trying to debunk here is Atropos has infinite speed and Kratos killed her, making his speed infinite. Some of these arguments he's just making up in his head because nobody who actually debates Kratos actually uses this argument. This is the novel scan, by the way, saying that she sent forth projection at infinite speeds. Again, that's invalid, and his retort to that is also fucking dumb. He goes, Atropos having infinite speed is such a bad notion to the point where it debunks itself. If she had infinite speed, she wouldn't even need to travel. For that very reason, and not have to close her eyes and look around, as having infinite speed would mean that she could go everywhere at once. So this is just proving that he doesn't know what infinite speed actually is. Having infinite speed is not being able to be everywhere at once. That is what you call a pseudo-omnipresence. An example of a pseudo-omnipresence would be Kratos when he had the title of God of War, how he existed wherever war took place. That's a pseudo-omnipresence. Having infinite speed is just being able to move anywhere instantaneously, not existing everywhere at once.
Yes, say you were like you were trying to move to a different dimension. Infinite speed. You can go there now.
Yeah, so this guy's just constantly, he's just incompetent and doesn't actually know the descriptions for the words that he's trying to give, like infinite speed. He didn't know the difference between immeasurable and infinite speed, by the way.
He's going to Google, typing these words in there, and go, it's not the definition of the word.
Ooh, that's a big word, let's use that. The next argument that he tries using to debunk is actually another argument that he probably just thought of in his head, because I've seen nobody actually use this argument. Baldur is the god of light and Kratos defeated him, making Kratos FTL. Again, nobody uses that fucking argument, or nobody that I've actually debated with has actually used that argument. And I actually do agree with one point he makes here in stating that just because you have a title doesn't mean that your physical body or speeds could reach that said title, like being named, you know, for example, the god of light, which he gives, that doesn't mean that he's instantly speed of light. But he does not understand the fact that Baldur scales to Kratos' speed in the new game. If not, is a little bit faster. That can be argued. And he goes on to say that if you beat up the electricity man, you aren't faster than electricity. The Baldur scenario is exactly the same case as he wasn't confirmed to be any speed. First of all, yes he was. Play the game. He scales to Kratos in speed. So, and Kratos already, which you gave, has immeasurable speeds. So,
oh my gosh, did you click the his link for electricity, man?
Yeah, let's take a look at this electricity shit real quick. Ooh, a black screen, nice. Yeah, sorry, this. Oh. Wow. This guy must be real fucking fast, man.
He must. This dude must think he's real funny, huh? Oh my god.
Yeah, big funny boy.
I actually thought he was talking about the electricity dude from Spider-Man.
I thought he was talking about just like a character, like it's named Electricity Man. I didn't know he was actually trying to use
I thought he was talking about electricity or Electro from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, well, if he dodges the lightning that's coming from him, then he's a lightning tyrant, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But this guy, no, he uses a fucking real life construction worker that works on electricity for power poles and shit. He's just confirming his stupidity.
Yeah.
The next argument he brings up is the supposed lightning timing, alleged sub-relativistic feats, and anything that is miscellaneous but below the light speed. So he goes over how Kratos dodged lightning and basically saying that it isn't. First of all, we're going to go over this. In this video right here, you see Kratos dodge lightning from Zeus. And this is the trailer promoting God of War 2, by the way. We'll take a look at this real quick. I'll slow it down. Look at this. Before the lightning even hits the ground, he jumps out of the way.
And it doesn't even look like it hits him.
I'll go back again. It doesn't hit him because he backs out of the way.
Yeah,
like, look at this. Zeus chucks the lightning down. Look, you see it right there? Kratos jumps out of the way before it even hits the ground, and he backflips. Okay, now I can understand if you just saw that, you know, it would be a bit weird stating that, you know, a trailer is canon, but this Mark Simon is the director of the game. He confirms that it was intended to prove Kratos' speed, so yes, it is actually canon. Well, let's read his galaxy-sized brain retort. This is seen on here, and who would you win? All the time. Lots of people agree with Kratos being a lightning timer when he got hit by the bolt. Okay, first of all, he did not get hit by the bolt. That's actually not true. He dodged it. he did not get hit, because right here, he says that he got hit, yet you see him jump out of the air and backflip before it even fucking hits the ground. So no, he did not get hit by it. That's just a misconception. You're visually lying. So, another lie that you're bringing up. So, that's just fucking retarded. Would you like to add anything to that specific word?
If you're not blind, you can obviously see in the video that he's in the air right before the lightning strikes.
Before it hits the ground.
So
yeah.
He's making up these lies that not with this particular section of the thread right here. You can see that there are going to be lies from now on.
Yeah, exactly. He's bringing up another Reddit post as well. And again, Mark Simon is a valid word of God, and even if he wasn't, none of the directors actually refuted or debunked his claim. So, you're just bringing up bullshit, man. Like, this is just ridiculous. Okay, he next goes over the argument of Kratos blocks Zeus's lightning, which he can throw from Mount Olympus in an instant, and Mount Olympus is 13,000 kilometers tall, as it would take a person 3 days to fall from its top to the ground at its base, making Kratos Mach 40,000 or sub-relativistic in speed. First of all, that's bullshit. No, it's not. You know, it's ridiculous. But, you know, whatever. First of all, he even failed in this argument right here. You know, Zeus can throw a lightning bolt from Mount Olympus to Egypt within a millisecond or some shit like that. But so he's sort of lying in this part right here. And then he goes on to try and debunk it. I see that he provided a fucking verse battles link. That's always reassuring. And by the way, I'll be debunking verse battles on Kratos in a future video. Same with another post this guy made about Dante from Devil May Cry. What's up, Zach?
I don't know if that thread was removed. Let's not worry about it right now. Let's go over this.
Yeah, okay. Let's just continue with this. Okay, so basically, he goes, apart from this feat being drawn from both a novel entry and a scan from a strategy guide, which are both another form of non-canon or explicit secondary. Okay, first of all, they are confirmed to be secondary canon, and nothing actually debunks this specific claim. So, and then you providing a fucking verse battles post is actually retarded. So, more of these speed feats are just retarded. Like, he tries debunking them, even though he fails to debunk them. So yeah. And here he goes over Hermes' speed. Hermes guides the souls of the dead down to the underworld. There is no word of God confirmation for this. Wait, there is word of God confirmation for this more than twice as well. Okay, yeah, sorry, I misread that by seeing no relevance. Him being a smartass, basically. Okay, so Hermes does actually guide every soul and dream to every mortal and to the underworld at the same time. That's how many mortals die every single second within the God of War universe. And this was taken during God of War 3, and there's Kratos down there. And Hermes guided all those souls. Not only that, but he actually delivers dreams to every living mortal that, you know, sleeps as well. So, in a sense, that would be a pseudo-omnipresence, but wouldn't in the same sense, because he's not existing everywhere at the same time. Well, although he is existing wherever mortals die, and, you know, wherever any mortal sleeps. But yeah. So it isn't. Here's the confirmation from Bruno and Gary. They basically confirmed it. So yeah. So yeah, he goes over, ignoring that the statements need no debunking anyway, since the guide that it comes from is uncanon. It is canon, you're wrong. And that made canon by what someone who did something vaguely related to God of War said on the internet. Again, they were directors, they worked on the game. And if even the higher directors could have debunked their statement, which they didn't, making your claim invalid. He also says Hermes guiding the souls is not a speed feat. It is, when taken at fast value. How he does this is unknown, just like how Helios banishes Nyx. It actually is known. Helios physically banishes Nyx with his light every single morning to bring daytime or the sunrise. It's even stated in an online, the multiplayer for Ascension Online, during the Battle of Troy, map. And Hermes actually, he personally guides each soul to the underworld as well. So. Yeah, you want to go over the next argument about Hermes running across
the face of the world?
Yep. You take over that one, buddy.
What Hermes ran across the face of the world. Let's look at this.
Yeah, this is a novel scan, by the way, guys. Yeah.
Her welcome. He banished okay, I was just reading that real quick. Alright.
Yeah.
In what time frame? Him being described as hunting for news doesn't suggest he did it extremely quickly either.
He's sort of right and wrong in this.
Yeah,
sense.
it wasn't stated. He moved across the world in like a second or whatever, or gave a specific time frame. So he's kind of right here. We can't really assume how.
But it's irrelevant.
It was irrelevant.
You know,
because
we've already discussed his speed.
And would that be an anti-feat?
And he put him at immeasurable. So
it's like with this, is he trying to make this an anti-feat or something like that? I don't know. Why he bring this up.
Yeah. Okay. Next part is Hermes ran up the side of a mountain and filled up 6 cups of wine before Poseidon could finish a sentence. He goes, the above could not be found, but it's a comic feat. As with the running feat, the speed of this cannot be defined. It can be because he did it before Poseidon could finish a sentence. And in that same comic thread, or panel, we actually see how long his sentence is. So yes, we actually do know how fast it is. Next, he goes over how the Sisters of Fate micromanage the threads of fate which makes them extremely fast. First of all, nobody directly says that. Who debates Kratos, you're wrong. And second of all, there's only one Sister of Fate that actually does that, and that's Clotho. The deformed slug one.
Yeah, it's the worm chick. Oh man, I like calling her Slug Princess.
Slug Princess. But he goes, there isn't even a scan for this, and it's a novel entry, discounting it from what is usable for that reason. It is usable, and in a sense, she would have precog as well. Zach agrees with me on that, because she's depicting and controlling the fate of every single mortal and god in the series. So
yeah, obviously precog, dude. I don't know why this dude hasn't joined the Olympics with all these. Oh my god.
So basically, that was debunked. Next is the speed anti-feats and Pyrrhus and durability. Okay, this is actually ridiculous. He talked about how Kratos could not avoid a pillar thrown at him by Ares. First of all, it was a sneak attack, and Kratos, that's just a multitasking feat that Kratos has not shown to be able to do. He was pushing the box of Pandora at that time, and out of nowhere, he sees a fucking pillar hurtling towards him that breaks the sound barrier. That doesn't mean that. It's just a sneak attack. It doesn't mean that.
Yeah, he's shown that he's massively faster than light. So why wouldn't he be able to dodge it if he was to see it coming? He was already.
Yeah, exactly. For example. Yeah. An example would be Goku getting hit by a fucking bullet or a rock by Krillin. He didn't see it coming. It was a sneak attack. Same as the fucking laser in Resurrection of F. I doubt the laser actually even broke the sound barrier, let alone anything else, and it snuck up on Goku and killed him. Does that mean that Goku is not faster than that fucking laser? No, of course it doesn't. It just means that it was a sneak attack.
Yeah, and one more thing. Kratos was pushing the one thing that was gonna help him kill Ares. So what?
Yeah,
he won't be completely.
That same box killed Ares as well.
So he will most likely be focusing on the Pandora's box. He'll be like, oh my gosh, the one thing that's gonna help me get revenge after all these years.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So that entire thing is just retarded,
Yeah.
and we basically just debunked it right then. Next argument he tries to, quote unquote debunk is Kratos fails to react to an explosion and moves slower than the explosion itself when escaping the area before said explosions happened in full. Now this is obviously referring to the Persephone thing, I think? Yeah, it is.
In Chains of Olympus.
Right. Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter if it didn't react to it. He fucking tanked the blast that was strong enough to just break the fucking world pillar, or a portion of the world pillar. And again, that in itself is its own feat. He didn't need to outrun that or, avoid it, because he could just tank it. And the same pillar actually, or tower, actually holds the entire universe. Being as it's quoted that it holds the skies, and the term sky, universe, and
heavens. Heavens.
Yeah, and heavens. They're like they're all used in the same context. So it's specifically said that the pillar holds all the heavens and the skies. So that's obviously referring to the universe. And again, I should also say, just because you think that something is an outlier or hyperbole doesn't mean that it is. If you actually think it is, prove that it is. Otherwise, just shut up and stop making that dumb claim.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
Call me Ben Shapiro, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so let's move on. He goes over how Kratos isn't a lightning timer. We proved that he was earlier, so that's just
yeah, we already debunked that. So
yeah. Next, he goes over how about the Zeus boss fight in God of War 2 had Kratos, Zeus, and later Athena move far slower than the lightning, and possibly the rain in the background, as well as the birds which were flying by the area of their fight. He responds with, he did block Zeus's lightning in that fight, but Zeus's lightning being as fast as actual lightning is extremely questionable. It's actually confirmed that his lightning is faster than normal lightning in real life. So yeah, and it was also confirmed again, like we said earlier, in the fucking with how we tried to debunk that same argument earlier. We debunked that.
Yeah.
Ooh boy, he goes over Helios' chariot getting tagged by a ballista. I'll let you take this one.
Okay. His main thing with this is, if Helios could fly around in his chariot at FTL because he is the god of the sun, it must be faster than light because of that. Being a smart ass.
Yeah.
Speeds, he would not have been able to be he would not have been hit by a ballista. Okay, let's go over this. 1. That chariot is not his sun chariot.
Yeah.
Because we know that it's not his sun chariot because in the Chains of Olympus, his sun chariot is massive. It's ginormous.
And also, we actually, in Chains of Olympus, it proves that the sun chariot is actually the sun itself, and we actually even see in the link that he provided that there's the sun in the background right over there, proving that this is not the same sun chariot that he used in, like right there, see? The sun, the shine of the light. So it's not the same chariot, it's just a normal chariot that he was using. And also, he was reacting to the speeds, or reaction speed of the Titan as well, which helped defeat Uranus. And by scaling, Uranus is the embodiment of the universe, so he'd be able to move at massively faster than light speeds casually.
Yeah.
So.
And
continue on.
And he was thrown off course into a Titan's hand. One of the Titans that helped defeat Uranus, or whatever that primordial's name is.
Yeah,
Uranus. That helped defeat a primordial that by size alone is MFTL.
Would be
MFTL. So debunked.
Yeah. We don't even really need to go over anything else. It's just retarded.
Let's speed through this. Kratos.
This next point actually is really good. He goes over how Kratos is unable to react to Helios' light. First of all, he did not need to react to it, because all he had to do to avoid it was cover his fucking eyes. And actually, if you take too much time in the game, Zach mentioned this because I was actually unaware to this point, you actually do eventually die, proving that this light actually does deal damage to Kratos. So yeah, that's very, very valid.
Yep.
So yeah. But you could explain that a lot better than me, Zach.
Yes, the light of Helios, when he uses it, you're not just blocking your eye, so you can see that you're actually being hurt by him. So he's tanking it. So if you can tank something, why would you dodge it? It makes no sense.
You wouldn't have a reason to dodge it. If
you're not gonna what's it called? If you're in a pool, basically, if someone pours a cup of water on you, if it's not gonna hurt you, then why would it care?
Yeah, like exactly, like Goku at full strength could get hit by a bullet, and that's a horrible example. But another example would be in the Tournament of Power when Jiren was just tanking the hits from base Goku up to Super Saiyan God, because they did nothing to him. He didn't need to dodge them because they were doing jack shit to him. So that's just an invalid point that he brought up. Next is how he goes over how Hermes was not able to react to the catapult projectile that Kratos did. First of all, this is CIS. If you don't know what CIS is, that is character-induced stupidity. For this example, we constantly see Hermes throughout the entire game and novels and even comics art as well, that during the Titan battle, he doesn't directly dodge a boulder that's thrown by the Titan at him. He waits till the very last second to actually react, because that's character-induced stupidity. He's a cocky little cunt, okay? Even throughout the entire battle and confrontation with Kratos, he's cocky. He constantly boasts about his speed. Like, oh, you can't catch me, you'll never catch me, I'll always be faster than you. And it's because he was cocky and he thought Kratos was just a pest. Yet later on, in the final phase of the battle, he actually drops that cockiness and actually gets serious with the fight, which is why he dodged the Light of Helios. And again, that was actually proved to hurt Kratos as well. So if you can prove that, and Hermes tanked that as well. So, and dodged it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it doesn't matter if he failed to react to the catapult. It was just him being stupid and failing to react to it because he was cocky, and then lost that cockiness when he got fucked up by Kratos, and even pleaded for his life. So yeah. Last argument is, but he was cornered and had nowhere to go, and that was PIS, since Word of God said he is FTL. So basically, it doesn't matter what he's saying here. I basically already debunked it. He's trying to say that he's only subsonic. It's just retarded, man. And that's basically the end of it. He's talking about how fast actually Kratos, not very fast at all. It's just, this whole post has been filled with strawman fallacies, lies, and just bullshit in general. Like, you can, if you're not retarded and you read through this and you actually know about Kratos and the real feats, you would see how this guy's just lying. And this was poorly structured and not put together very well. And it's just, if you did read this before actually knowing about God of War, I'm sorry, like, this guy's just filling you with lies and shit, but you should know the truth.
Also, one more thing, right here,
Yep.
In his last part, his conclusion basically, it says, he goes over, he can be hurt by failed QuickTime events.
That's just dumb. That's just a failure of the canon.
Oh my god, it's failure. Okay. It's on the player's part if you fail a QuickTime event. Like, come on, don't try to blame that on Kratos.
That's just the player being. That's just the player being.
Don't blame that on Kratos if you're bad at the game.
And here he goes. TLDR, which means too long didn't read. He goes, Kratos being faster than lightning is wank. FTL is just next level jerking. Kratos is slow and it's obvious. No, I'll tell you what is obvious. That you're fucking retarded. Okay? I really hope that the creator of this actually reads or watches this fucking video, man, because he's just a fucking dumbass. Let's see. WS Wars. I really hope you watch this fucking video, dude. Like, honestly, if you have a problem with me debunking you so fucking badly, like, badly as in you getting
Discord in
like,
the
feel
betas.
free to add me on Discord. Literally, I'll post my Discord user in the description, and you can debate me on this, and I'll debunk you and fucking clap you even harder. And that also goes to anyone else that watches this video as well. If you disagree with what I have said and what my friend over here, Zek, has said, debate me on Discord in a voice chat. I'll keep it civil. I will not rage at you or swear at you or anything like that. But my Discord will be in the description. And please add me if you disagree, and I'll properly, civilly debate you on it.
Alright.
But yeah. I think that's the end to this video. I'll see you guys later.